Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another video of 5 looks with 1 palette. I am coming to you from Washington, D.C. I am on a trip as a chaperone with my 8th graders from work. I decided I wanted to do my 5 looks while on this trip, do kind of a travel look and see how that goes with the palette I brought along. So, just so you know, this is actually my 2nd day here. I filmed a look yesterday, and after I was done filming and my full face was done, I realized I kind of wanted to include my full face of makeup, foundation, everything to make it more of a comprehensive travel video. My makeup held out really well yesterday. I was very impressed, and here's a picture of it. I took after a long day. We took the subway into the Capitol. It was a lot of walking. I think we looked and it was almost 7 miles of walking. Somebody recommended these Revlon palettes. I had never used them before. I didn't even know they existed. I didn't have time to run to the store, and I wanted to kind of make sure that I got one. So I found them on Amazon, but the only one that was prime was this Romantic Nudes. So I ended up with a nude palette, which is totally fine, but I have noticed it's a little harder to get kind of a variety of looks out of it, especially because these colors are very similar. There's kind of a taupey shade with some kind of shimmer and sheen to it, and then under that is more of a brown shade, more on the taupe side too. It's not matte. It has this kind of sheen, and then a matte brown shade, and that seems to be the only matte in this palette. So that's a little unfortunate. On the other side, we have more of a creamy shade. It definitely is on the cream side. The other one was more taupey. And then I have, I don't even know what you would call this. I really don't know what you would call this color. It's kind of nude. It does have some sheen to it in comparison to the other kind of middle shade on the other side. And then deep brown that is not matte. So this is the deep brown. It's not matte. It has some, again, it's a little shiny. So it's all very, very similar. And you'll see in the next look, day 1, I ended up using my blush on my eyelid just to give it a little something else. So I don't consider that deviating from the palette, even though technically this palette does have, they call it a blush. It's very, like, it blends into my skin. So I'm gonna try it one day, but I haven't yet because I'm a little, and then for lips, which is fine, but lips in this type of palette, they get dirty really fast. They already have eyeshadow on them, and I don't tend to carry these with me. I could see maybe keeping this in your bag if you need makeup quickly. But anyway, my full face started with the Tarte Base Tape Primer. I brought this sample along with me because it is supposed to be a hydrating primer, and when you fly, the moisture gets out of your skin. So I wanted to bring this so I could make sure I'm really moisturized. Just started by putting that all over my face. And then I use L'Oreal. I've been using L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour fresh wear foundation. On trips when I'm traveling, I prefer the Beauty Blender because it's easy to clean, and this doesn't take up as much space. I can just throw it in the bag. I don't know, it just seems easier. So I've been using the Beauty Blender, just blend out the whole foundation. And then again, I've been using this for quite a few months now. It's almost done. I need to get a new one. Infallible Pro Glow Concealer. But I just do a little triangle under each eye and then take the Beauty Blender and pat it all out and kind of go over my eyelid to give it a little more of a base for the eyeshadow. And then I've been doing this trick. I think I saw Wayne Goss do it on his video recently. He suggested using a highlighter that was a cream. So this is Bare Minerals Bare Pro Glow Highlighter. I just put it on the back of my hand, dip the tip of my beauty blender into it, and pat it on my cheeks, really diffusing it out and doing like a C shape around the edge of my eye and eyebrow. And then tip of the nose, little bridge of the nose a little bit, sometimes right above the lips. Once I've done that, I've been using the Laura Mercier Candleglow powder in 3. It's beautiful. I never in a million years would think to do this, but I had a makeover at Sephora for an event I was going to. I used some of my, I had an insider makeover, and she did this. You know, I know Hourglass has things like this. There's a couple brands that have things like this, and I've never really known how to use these darker shades, which is kind of silly because I have a tan skin tone. So this is beautiful as a setting powder, and she did it that day and I loved it, so I bought it, of course. And I've been doing that. I just wipe my powder brush in it and just kind of go over my whole face, not really my under eyes. And it's beautiful and it works. It sets everything, it stays, it's lovely. Cheeks, I meant to do the blush in here, but I forgot. So I used the Natasha Denona Blush and Glow. I just pat on my cheeks because I'm always afraid of rubbing off the foundation there. I have some scarring. And then I did add a little more highlighter by using my little highlighting brush and going just on the top of the cheeks and the C around the eyebrow, nose, bridge of the nose, and all of that again, just to give it a little tiny bit more. Eyebrows, I ran out of my eyebrow pencil, which I have been loving. I need to buy a drugstore brand because I just cannot see paying the price for an Anastasia one when it gets used up so quickly. This guy I've had forever. It's the Brow Powder Duo in dark brown. I do like it. It's just not as precise. I'm not careful with this guy at all. I just like put it over the eyebrows, and if it looks good, great. Then I went in today with the eyeshadow. I started out with the kind of medium shade on this side of the palette, this shade that I do not know what color you would call this. It might come to me or it might not. I just put it all over my lid, and I was kind of gonna just see how that would look. Maybe that would be it. But again, I don't like such simple looks. I don't know why. I always have to take it to that little extra step. So I was trying to think what I was gonna do. I went ahead and highlighted the inner corner and under my brow bone with this lightest, creamy, shimmery, shiny shade. And then I decided I was going to just use this matte brown, put it on my eyelid. Very simple. I wasn't gonna do a bunch of blending in my crease or anything like that. So I just put it on my eyelid with a shadow brush, and then I sprayed my whole face with my MAC Fix Plus, which is not in its normal bottle, it's in a travel bottle, and put on mascara. Oh, nope, that's not true. I used my Laura Mercier, my favorite black gold liner, smudgy line, and then I put on mascara, and that's my look for today. So I am going to take more pictures, maybe do a little vlogging and insert some stuff in DC for what I'm doing today, and you'll see how the makeup holds up, and I will see you tomorrow for yesterday's look. And then I'll see you again for another look for day 3. All right, it's about noon and my makeup's holding up pretty well. As you can see, I'm on the National Mall right now. We've gone to a couple Smithsonians, and let's see. I'm trying to find some good light, guys, because it's really bright out here. But yeah, pretty good. It's a beautiful day in DC. And that's that. You'll see in my look today, I did incorporate my blush into my eye look just to give myself a little pop of pink, since I'm really wearing a lavender shirt, but it worked nicely just to give a little pop. So this is the Natasha Denona Blush and Glow, and it doesn't matter what blush you have. So I know the idea is getting looks from one palette, but I see no problem with incorporating the other things you have with you. So I always have blush with me. I'm going to use it, you know, and I may use it on my eyes as well. It's kind of a fun trick. Started off with this top color. It's has a little bit of sheen to it. It's definitely not matte. It's kind of taupey, and when you swatch it, there is some shimmer on it. I just put it under my eyebrow using my Sephora eyeshadow brush. And then I went in and did a light blending with my angled shadow brush. I forgot my favorite blending brush, so this is the only one I have. It's also from Sephora. With the matte kind of brown color. It's a lighter brown. There's a few browns in here. And then I decided, well, I really didn't want to just go neutral, and I'm kind of looking ahead for the rest of the days too. If I want to get some different looks, I need a little more variety. So that's when I picked up the blush and I just patted it on my eyelid just to give myself a little pinky look today. And then I went in with the darker brown color. It's not quite matte. There's a little bit of something in it, but I just used it to give myself a little more depth in my crease, lined my eyes, put on mascara, and that's it. I'm done. It is actually day 3 today, and I remembered to try to use the blush that's included in the palette. Let me go ahead and grab it. I put it away already. So about that, they call this a blush, and it's very light, and even when you kind of look at it next to me, I was very skeptical about using this. So I started, and you'll see, I'm going to put the video of me doing it here on my cheek, and I wasn't really seeing anything. Now the lighting in here is not great, but I also noticed it has a little bit of a sheen, a little bit of a shine to it, and I really think it's more of a highlight than a blush. Now, what I was doing, as I was doing this and applying it as blush, I really started to think, well, we have these creams in here, and they're labeled as lipstick and lip gloss. But really, the lipstick side, which is this side here, there's a peach and kind of a rosy color, could probably be used as blush. So I'm going to try that tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Then I went ahead and did my makeup. I took the matte brown shade, did a nice diffused blend in my crease as a transition color, lightly blended it up towards my eyebrows, a little bit onto my eyelid. I was debating between this kind of taupey shade and this, I don't know, this caramely shade. I really don't know how to describe it still, sorry guys. I decided to go with the taupe. So I put that all over my eyelid, concentrating a little bit more towards the inner corner and the middle half of my eye. And then I took the deepest brown, which is not a matte, but I used it as a crease shade today. I took my small crease blending brush and just blended it into the crease, give it some dimension. I took my teeny pencil brush and smudged it on the bottom eyelid. And then I lined my eyes and put on mascara. It's a very simple look. We'll see how everything holds up today. I did notice yesterday, by the end of the day, my eye makeup was not staying put. Hey, so I realized I forgot to film actually the final look, and I decided to do it in the bathroom where the lighting is so much better, but there's no place to set my tripod on. So that's why I'm not actually doing the makeup in here. I think the look is really pretty. I just don't know how it's gonna hold up today. And I'm starting to get a little bit concerned about looks further down. Like tomorrow, I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's just, the palette's a little one note, I kind of think. So, but we'll keep going, we'll keep trying. I am doing a very simple look today. We are still in DC, but we're heading out to Colonial Williamsburg for the day, and I think it's going to be really warm, and it's humid here, which I know it's not even close to as humid as it gets in the summer, but I'm really not used to this kind of weather. We were pretty miserable yesterday, so I'm hoping my makeup stays. I don't know. I made sure I really did give it a good spray with Fix Plus, and I just kept it very simple. I did remember to try to use the lip colors in this palette as blush. I just took the deepest shade. It's kind of a plummy color, I guess, and it does have a tiny bit of sparkle, but I thought the color payoff would be better on me than the peachy shade. And I patted it with my fingers. I started out very lightly because it is fairly light when I used it on my lips, but I didn't want to, you know, go overboard right away. Started out very lightly, just kind of putting a couple dots, blending it with the beauty blender, trying to blend it with my finger. I'm always very careful. I don't generally like using cream cheek products simply because I don't want to wipe off the foundation. And then for my eyes, I kept it super basic. I went in with, which is supposed to be the blush color. Put it all over my eyelid, and then went in with this shade here. I didn't want something very dark, and diffused it into the crease, blending it out as a sort of transition shade. It does have a bit of a sheen to it. It's kind of a satiny color. Nothing too glittery, but it definitely has, you know, that kind of glow. So it still works in the crease. It's pretty. I don't think that you just always have to do mattes in the crease. It adds some nice color to the eyelid. And then I did want it a little deeper, so I went in with the lighter matte brown shade right here, just very lightly on the outer V, and blended it just a little bit. The lighting is so much better in here, but I wanted to just show you real quick what my makeup looks like in better lighting. And so you can see the cheeks. You can see they're just very light. And even here, it's kind of hard to really see. This is my final look. It's very simple because we fly out today. We're going home this afternoon. We have a couple more things to do with the students, but then we're heading home. And so I just kept it super simple. As always, I keep forgetting to set the look. And really, I'd like to make sure I do this, especially when I'm going to be out all day, just because it really does help. So, do I like this palette? That is the big question. I don't dislike the eyeshadows. They blend well. I think they're very pretty. What I don't like is how kind of one note they are. There's not a lot of variety. The color, the two, like maybe what you might think of as looks that they give you, one's warmer, one's cooler, they're just so similar. And on me, at least, I'm not seeing a huge difference when I use one over the other. They kind of all look the same. It's a neutral, pretty look. You can get a nice transition out of it. You can deepen it up with some of the darker browns. You get a nice shimmer with these lighter colors, but there's not a huge difference. The lips, as you can see, they're pretty, but the color payoff isn't massive, and they're not lasting. You'd have to keep this with you, which is fine. I don't mind that, but they do get dirty. And the cheek, forget it. It doesn't work for me. I feel like it's more of a highlighter. It's not really a blush. So that's, you know, not a big bonus for me. Would I continue to use this palette? Maybe if I kept it in my purse and it's all I had. But you guys, if you've been watching, you know I like variety and I like to be able to do a lot of different kinds of looks. And I really can't do that with this. So it's not bad. The colors are good, everything's nice, but I don't know if it's exceptional, you know, and definitely not my favorite kind of thing. Now, this is only one. I know of two others at least. I just wasn't able to get them in time, so maybe the other ones are better. I don't know. I'll try to check them out and see. But that's it. That's this week. It's been fun kind of doing this in a different setting, traveling and adding a few different elements with my video. And I will see you guys all later. If you are enjoying what I'm doing here on Morning Makeup, please subscribe and go ahead and follow me over on Instagram at Bug and Bird Photography as well. And I hope you all have a lovely week. Bye.